Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Narayana,
Yadavaya Namah,
Govinda,
Sri Madhusudanam, Pangun Langai Tegirim, Sri Gurum Dhinatharinam, Sri Chaitanyamishwaram, Hari Om Tat Sat.
Your Honor, class.
The question is a answer session of devotees from the exits.
There.
Coming in 5 minutes.
They are coming in 5 minutes, and meanwhile we read from Chaitanya Shikshamrita. Once they are here, then we'll continue with the interview. It's like an interview. So tonight we'll have the Guru Maharaj will read for a while from the Chaitanya Shikshamrita. After that there will be some devotees coming, and there will be an interview. Okay? Regarding the TOVPE. You all can also participate. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Identity of the living entity. Minute conscious living entity is by nature the servant of Krishna, by servant of fully conscious Krishna. The servitude of Krishna, is the constitutional position of the living entity. Forgetting that personal eternal identity, the living entity stays in bound form. As and when the eternal identity comes in memory, the living entity attains liberated form. The minute conscious living entity, constitutionally they are servant of Krishna. But they have forgotten their personal identity. So because they have forgotten this personal identity, they are caught up by Maya, or they are caught up in this material world. And as and when the eternal identity comes in the memory, the living entity attains the liberated form. When they realize they are servitude to Krishna, then they attain liberation. The intrinsic nature, intrinsic natural power of the consciousness. Prabhu, you have to scroll.
What? Medicine?
And medicine damage.
Medicine. 8:15 Guru. Oh, okay, I'll get it. I don't hear what you said.
So basically, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining.
Give him tissue. Give tissue to both.
But basically, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying the constitution conscious living entity is to serve Krishna, who is fully conscious. but they have forgotten their personal identity. Because of that forgetfulness, they are entangled in this material universe. As soon as they remember their servitude to Krishna, then they are liberated. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes on explaining further, the intrinsic natural power of the consciousness substance is present in minute quantity in the minute conscious living entity. Therefore, the living entity is by nature almost without strength. Therefore, the living entity by nature is almost without strength. In the liberated state, obtaining strength of Krishna, it becomes endowed with strength to that extent, ascribing to I am conscious substance. The living entity does not obtain strength, but liberation obtained from that is nirvana mukti, void. Would you like to explain?
So, when we realize our eternal relationship with Krishna, then we become very strong.
So that when we realize our eternal relationship with Krishna, then we become very strong.
Otherwise, in the material world, we are compromised.
Otherwise, in the material world, we will compromise.
And we may not realize our actual position.
And we may not realize our actual position.
So, Krishna, he manifests the Ananta Koti universes.
Krishna, he manifests the Ananta Koti universes.
He does this effortlessly.
And he does this effortlessly.
Just like his willpower.
Just by his willpower.
No. We are in significant in comparison with the universe.
What's that, Ramaj? We are?
We are here.
They are here.
Please.
They are here. Akandidi Prabhu is also here.
That's okay. We fix it later.
Okay. So Gurmach will come like this. 8 of them are here.
Sit over, you sit over here.
We go like this. A discussion.
Is it
Like
here?
this here, like this. Like a discussion. Yeah, we'll bring
We have
seats.
to-
We have enough seats.
I need this. I need this. Yeah.
You can sit here.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me? So Hare Krishna, everyone. So today we have a small Q&A, separate Guru Maharaj, and together with the BI, headed by Akandadi Prabhu. We have been working in the museum, the Science Museum of the Vedic Planetarium. So they have been
Yeah, the
working
chairs
for
over
over
here.
12 years in the content that will be in the Vedic Planetarium. So today we have different consultants coming during this week that are helping us to make the museum.
Which chair?
So one of the consultants is Design Factory, headed by Siddhartha and his group. So in the morning we have a Q&A session with Guru Maharaj. and we're planning to continue a little bit tonight. So you can all benefit from the discussion and hear more about what are we going to do in the West Wing of the Museum of the Vedic Planetarium. Akandito, you want to say something?
Oh,
Sanjay, would you like to say something?
Hare Krishna.
আপনি এখানে বসে
We're very grateful
আপনি
to be in the presence of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, because he is the spiritual inspiration for the work that we are doing in this Science Museum of the Vedic Planetarium. You know that he received direct instructions from Srila Prabhupada. He was present when Prabhupada was instructing the devotee scientists about what is the need for this museum in order to defeat the misleading, crooked interpretations of life and the universe that have been perpetrated and sold in all the schools and universities, misleading the general public. And he wanted this museum to be the place, a beacon here in Mayapur, which revealed the truth about our own existence. We are not simply material bodies, we are spiritual beings, the Atma. We belong to Krishna. And to reveal the nature of this material world, this cosmos, and although it offers huge variety of opportunities for the Atma to take one species after another on this planet and on many other planets,
You don't need
still it is not our home. And Prabhupada wanted this temple of the Vedic Planetarium to reveal the nature of our true home in the spiritual realm, back with Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. So we are so grateful for Maharaj, always eager to engage with all the hard work that is needed to manifest this museum. It is not a small endeavor, and Maharaj is always encouraging us, always wishing to be present, involved in all the activities. And today we have our consultants, as was said. These are from Design Factory based in Delhi, and they have spent the last 2 days discussing with us all sorts of ideas that we hope may become incorporated within the museum. And because they had many ideas, we thought it might be very interesting if maybe some of their questions could be put to Maharaj so that you could all hear this conversation.
So some questions may be technical, some questions may be philosophical, so bear with us. So today we were discussing with you about the Virat Rupa, about the cells, biology, about the spiritual, about the material world. So if you have any questions, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for the opportunity of asking us to be here. It's a privilege to be sitting in front of you.
It's a privilege to be sitting in front of you.
So we have been thinking this since last 2 days, and I am asking this from everybody. But my question to you is that let us imagine the museum is open and it is 2035 after 10 years. And
So then he's saying, let us imagine the museum is open. It's 2035 after 10
and these all people are coming to visit the museum. What you want the end expression or the takeaway from the museum?
So what you want to take away from the museum? What people should take away with them? Yeah, what do you want people to take away with them when they leave the museum after 10 years, whatever, when the museum is inaugurated?
What would you like the
What
takeaway
is
to be?
the takeaway?
So what would you like the takeaway to be?
Just
Yeah, have one with me.
these questions are not. He just spontaneously asking nothing.
So these questions are not planned. He's spontaneously asking, so I have to think.
So, what we would like to take away to be.
So what you would like the takeaway to be?
Well, each of the floors would have different takeaways.
Each of the floors would have different takeaways.
They should know who they are.
They should know who they are.
They should know what is life.
They should know what is life.
And they should see, they should know what the universe
They should know what is the universe
and how the Vedas give us information
and how the Vedas gives us information
about the universe.
about the universe.
And so we should be very amazed how the universal description in the Vedas is so accurate.
They should be amazed regarding how the description of how the universal description in the Vedas are so amazing.
And the fourth level, we like them to realize how the spiritual world is actually what we were looking for.
So in the fourth level, they should realize how the spiritual world is that what we are looking for.
What do you think?
What do you think, Akandati Prabhu, Ekanath Prabhu?
You can challenge everything. Consultant.
Ekanath Prabhu, what do you think?
Yeah, Maharajji, once we were going to the details of the universe and the planetarium,
So once we were going through the details of the universe and the planetarium,
it opted out to be very, very scientific.
it opted out to be very, very scientific.
What do you think? The museum need to be very scientific, or it should also have a lot of emotions?
What do you think? The museum should be very scientific, or it also should be emotional as well?
Sorry, Prabhu.
Just one.
Is you say that usually we hear how people describe the Vedic knowledge as mythology.
So you see, usually we see how people they describe the Vedic knowledge as mythology.
So we want them to feel that this is very substantial.
So So we want them to feel that this is substantial, very substantial.
At the same time, how much can they take of just scientific thought?
At the same time, how much they can take this scientific tattva,
So the what should the type of thread that
there should be a type of thread that
what's into emotional state
that puts them into an emotional state.
And Maharaj, if you're asking about emotions, yes, we want people to enjoy the museum, but if those emotions are distractions or simply sentimental, that may not have so much value.
So
Maharaj, is it that we would like the emotions to be based on something real, discovering our relationship with Krishna, which is the highest emotion of all?
So Guru Maharaj, the question is, let's say if the museum becomes emotional, then people wouldn't understand the scientific aspect of it.
No, I did not say that. I said that if emotions, if we mean by emotions something just sentimental, that is of no value. But we want emotions that are related to our relation, to discovering our relationship with Krishna, because nothing could be a greater emotion than discovering Krishna.
Can you tell me the question? Just don't want to say it wrong.
No, you say it. He's saying we don't want the emotions. If the emotions are something like sentimental, like material emotions, we don't want that. But if the emotions are coming from the discovery of our relationship with Krishna, then it's something that you want.
That's why I put the emotions second,
That's why I put the emotions second.
because it should be something like a wrong realization.
Because it should be something like a profound realization.
And something that they're looking for,
Something that they have been looking for,
and then they found it.
and then they found it.
He was saying in the afternoon, find a friend.
Like you were saying in the afternoon, to find a friend.
So that's also emotional, but very profound.
That's also emotional, but it would be very profound. Is that all right?
Yeah.
That help?
Yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah.
That helps a lot. Your answer helps a lot.
So what you are saying is that we should be very logical and scientific,
But you are saying that you should be very logical and scientific,
and through that knowledge, you will realize or you will get the emotion of Krishna.
so through that knowledge, they would realize, and they'll get, what was the last part?
They will get the knowledge of Krishna.
They would realize, and they would get the knowledge of Krishna.
I asked this afternoon
I was asked this afternoon
whether my the realization that Krishna was Supreme Personality of Godhead
whether the realization that Krishna, the Supreme Person, was Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
did it happen right after I met Prabhupada?
that came right after I met Prabhupada.
Actually, I mean, I Krishna's mercy. I always have believe in God.
So actually, when I think about that, by Krishna's mercy, somehow I believe in God. I always believe in God.
And my understanding of Krishna, of the Supreme Personality of God, it keeps growing.
And about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it keeps going. I was looking at the tree.
Tears started coming in my eyes,
And tears started coming in my eyes.
and my hairs were standing on end.
My hairs were standing on end.
And it was very intense.
It was very intense chanting.
Then I went back on the other somewhere.
Then I went back.
Give you some fathers. So that secretary he met me.
As soon as the secretary he met me,
He said, "You have those beads?"
he said, "Do you have those beads?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah."
I shouldn't have given those to you. You know, they're Prabhupada's beads.
I shouldn't have given those to you. They are Srila Prabhupada's beads.
You shouldn't believe that.
So I gave the beads back.
Quite the same using other beads.
It was quite the same. It wasn't the same using the other beads.
Uh, so I had, at that time, Prabhupada lost his visa for the United States. He was in Montreal, Canada.
At that time, Srila Prabhupada lost his visa for the United States and he was in Montreal, Canada.
And so I just knew I was learning.
What's that?
I knew I was learning.
I was new and I was learning.
So I bought the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
So I bought the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
That's all they had.
That's all they had.
And the storekeeper told me gold is that I need Jayananda. He was making the Roth car.
So the storekeeper, he told me to go back and I saw Jayananda Prabhu, he was making the Rath cart.
So the first thing Jayananda said, he asked me, do you know how to hammer a nail?
The first thing Jayananda Prabhu asked me, do you know how to use a hammer?
So the trick of hammering a nail is move your hand out before you yes, smash.
So the trick of hammering a nail is you remove your hand before you smash.
And the Jayananda asked me, you know how to hold the nail?
And then Jayananda Prabhu asked me, do you know how to hold the nail?
And the secret of holding a nail is move your hand out as soon as it's in the wood.
So the secret of holding a nail is remove your hand out as soon as it's on the board.
I said, okay.
I said, okay.
Jayananda said, okay,
Jayananda Prabhu said, okay,
you pass.
you pass.
And then he was telling me about the Rath Yatra.
And then he was telling me about the Rath Yatra.
Showed a picture of Jagannath Puri.
He showed me the picture of Jagannath Puri.
You know, with like 1 million people.
You know, like 1 million people.
You don't get 1 million people in the West.
You won't get 1 million people in the West.
You get so the cart like this. So I said,
So he said, we are going to make a cart like this. And I said,
but then I said, so how long will that take?
then I said also how long that would take.
He said, we have 2 weeks.
And he said, we have 2 weeks.
Like that. So I helped them make the cart rather.
So I helped them to make the carts, the Rath Yatra car.
And I wanted to see Prabhupada when he was in Montreal.
And then I wanted to see Srila Prabhupada, but he was in Montreal.
And tell the president, he told me that Prabhupada's slow with an Indian accent. You can't understand what he said.
So the temple president told that Prabhupada spoke with an Indian accent. He can't understand what he said.
And then someone said, offer him a ticket.
And then
He just bought me you.
and he said, offer him a ticket, and he just bought me one.
And sure enough, so I went to New York, and New York I went to Montreal.
So sure enough, I went to New York. From New York, I went to Montreal.
I already had so many experiences even before I met Prabhupada.
So I already had experiences even before I met Srila Prabhupada.
So we want to do in the West, people should have many experiences.
So what we want to do in the West Wing is that people should have many experiences.
And we have proud experience for them.
What's that, Ramaj?
That should be a proud experience.
It should be a profound experience for them.
So, so you want to give a closing words of your experience in Mayapur?
Yeah, thank you again. And
He's thanking you.
and what we discussed today was that we were discussing how to complement the emotional aspect with the scientific aspect.
So they were discussing about how to complement the emotional aspect with the scientific aspect.
And we thought
They were discussing how to complement the emotional aspect with the scientific aspect.
and we thought that let us have not one typology of space, let us have three typology of spaces.
So they
Typology of spaces.
they discussed that let us not have one typology of space, but instead we can have three typologies of space.
So one will be the experience,
So one would be the experience,
which will introduce you to the subject.
which would introduce you to the subject.
The second will be absorption,
The second would be absorption,
which will be scientific.
which would be scientific.
And third will be reflection.
And third would be reflection.
So you reflect back on what you have learned.
So you reflect back on what you have learned.
So the experience
What do y'all think?
What do you all think? They are very good.
So you're ready to see the exhibit?
So are you all waiting to see the exhibit?
Oh, yeah. People from all India, China, Russia, different places.
So we have people from all over India, China, Russia, and different places.
I want to ask one final question,
He wants to ask one final question.
just very quick. And that is for Siddharth to take on the task of looking at our whole storyline and developing the exhibits, ideas. What-
To look at the whole storyline and developing ideas.
What advice would you have for him personally in order for his own mentality and discipline in order to be blessed by Krishna to take on that?
What
Job.
advice do you have for him according to his mentality, and so Krishna can bless him to develop that properly? Yes?
I think we're having a competition. Who can do the best of it all?
So I think we have a competition who can do the best Of all, best of all.
That is true.
That's true.
But Siddhartha is very eager, and I thought if you gave him some encouragement in terms of what he can do in his own mind and even in his own daily practice, that would help him really tune in to this museum.
For Siddharth Prabhu, Prabhu, I didn't.
He's very eager.
Because he's very eager.
What advice do you have for him,
So, what advice do you have for him,
for his mind,
for his mind,
or even for his daily practice,
even for his daily practice,
that he can realize the exhibit in the best way?
that he can realize the exhibit in the best way?
Downstairs, there's Radha and Krishna and also Sakis
See, downstairs there are Radha and Krishna and the Astasakis
and the Panchatattva,
and the Panchatattva,
Lord Chaitanya, and his powerful expansions,
Lord Chaitanya and his powerful expansion,
and then the energies which he manifests.
the energy which he manifests.
So I saw Lord Chaitanya. He is the most merciful,
Lord Chaitanya, he is the most merciful.
and like Krishna, he gives love if someone surrenders to him.
Like Krishna, he gives love if someone surrenders unto him.
You don't have to surrender to him.
You don't have to surrender to him.
Just to come to him. He gives mercy.
Just if you come to him, he gives you mercy.
So, when he was traveling in South India,
When he was traveling in South India,
he meet people on the road.
he would meet people on the road.
He would just go out to them and hug them.
He would just go up to them and hug them.
And so he went to many houses and villages,
He went to many houses in the villages.
and in South India they just feed and they're very ritualistic.
In South India, they would bathe your feet and they're very ritualistic.
So you can just make it very easy to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya.
It might be very easy if you get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya.
You know, even he gives it without asking.
Even he gives without asking.
I ask,
But if you ask,
and you can get
then you can get
unlimited mercy.
unlimited mercy.
So,
Is that correct?
Is
is that correct?
Oh, sorry.
So I hope you all enjoy the little drops of the Science Museum of the Vedic Planetarium. Do you want to hear more? Not today. We will continue. We will have many sessions like this in the future where you will hear different exhibits, different content, scientific explanations, Guru Maharaj realizations about Harisauri. You will hear from Akandari. You will hear from the consultants. This is just the beginning of this journey that we will have online for all of you. So we all can enlighten each other with the Science Museum of the Vedic Planetarium. Srila Prabhupada ki. So we want to thank our consultants, Siddhartha Prabhu and his group and his team, Kushman and Whitfield also, and Akandadi Prabhu for coming here to Mayapur and enlighten us with all the philosophy and science about the universe.
Thank you. Very grateful, Maharaj. Thank you for giving us this time, and thank you for all the inspiration you're always giving for us to press ahead with the Science Museum of the Vedic Planetarium for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure. Haribo!
Srila Prabhupada ki. Museum of Vedic Planetarium ki. Jai.
Did you have a tour around the temple?
Yes.
Is the Jagannath Dato. So you can come and get the blessings, all of you. It's very rare to have the Dato. Ritu from Kushman and Whitfield, Nishista, and Madhu.
Thank you.
Is this emotional, scientific?
It's emotional or scientific. Alright. Thank you, Siddhartha.
Thank you.
Have a safe journey.
Namaste, 8:30.
Yeah, 8:35.
8:35, sorry, I just missed.
Haribol. Hare Krishna, can you hear?
Hare Krishna. So Guru Maharaj has to take his dinner right now. So Guru Maharaj, they don't have any question.
They have many, but not today.
Not today. Yeah. They want you to take prasad and go to bed early.
Give me one tissue paper.
Also tomorrow morning he's giving the Bhagavatam class. So yeah, in the temple hall. So don't miss the rare opportunity of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the Walking Bhagavatam. So you all have to go back early, take good rest, and come back for the Bhagavatam class. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me? Haribol. Prabhu, on the mic, couldn't. Guru Maharaj is blessing all the devotees who are assembled here and online.
Krishna Matir Astu.
Krishner Matirastu. Haribol. Guru Maharaj ki. Dear fortunate devotees, welcome to Guru Maharaj's virtual book table. There's a physical book table right behind you for those who are present physically here. And before you leave from here, please visit there and see what is there for you. So from our physical book table, we have Bhagavan Mishra Das, around 84 Bhagavad Gita. And We have today Raghunath Chaitanya Das from Andhra Pradesh, 8 Bhagavad Gita, Divya Vishaka Devidasi from Puri, 8 Bhagavad Gita, Sukhrut Nitai Das from Mayapur, 2 Bhagavad Gita, Priyanka Ghosh from Orissa, 1 Bhagavad Gita, Mathureshwari Mohini Devidasi from Mayapur, 10 Bhagavad Gita, Paramananda Hrishikesh Das from USA, 2 Bhagavad Gita, Roop Sengupta from Assam, 3 Bhagavad Gita, Indrapati Haridas from Bengaluru, 20 Bhagavad Gita, Baladev Kaurna Das from Nagaland, 20 Bhagavad Gita, Jagat Pavana Satya Devidasi from Gujarat, 2 Bhagavad Gita, Rupamai Sudevi Devidasi from Bengaluru, 10 Bhagavad Gita, and 100 small books. A perfect 1:10 ratio as per Guru Maharaj's request on the order of Srila Prabhupada. Pintu Ghosh from Bankura, 4 Bhagavad Gita, Subhamai Champalata Devidasi from Mangaluru, 11 Bhagavad Gita, Sushila Madhodas from Bardhaman, 2 Bhagavad Gita, Arpita De from Durgapur, 8 Bhagavad Gita, Malini Sundari Devidasi from Bengaluru, 18 Bhagavad Gita, Pulak Harami from Kuwait, 11 Bhagavad Gita, Anamika Kundu from Howrah, 1 Bhagavad Gita, Rupeshwar Brajanath Das from Asansol, 2 Bhagavad Gita, Arun Jhana from Mumbai, 2 Bhagavad Gita. And we have our Nitya Sevaites from yesterday. Balachandra Channa, Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi, Balavranda, 4 books, 4 small books every day. So yesterday and today, 8 small books. So while thanking those who are helping Guru Maharaj in his book distribution, Guru Maharaj says in his own words, of course, Srila Prabhupada told all of us to be Krishna conscious, to help others to be Krishna conscious and chant Hare Krishna. But he told me that I should also see that every month 10,000 Mahabig books are distributed and 100,000 small books. So I have this big debt that I have to pay every month. It's a monthly requirement. So I need a lot of help. I don't know how much that is now with interest, because that was told in the 1970s. So with interest, maybe that is much more now. So Mayapur Sankirtan Party helps by distributing books, but anyone here wants to help me pay my debts, small books can be sponsored at 30 rupees INR and big books 270 INR. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai. Also, these devotees whose names are chanted in the holy Dham of Mayapur today, they are getting a special Narasimha Puja in a few hours from now in Sridham Mayapur. And all of you devotees also, please bless them by calling out Nitai Gauranga with me. Nitai Gauranga! And please pass on the wonderful opportunity of the participating in pastime of Guru Maharaj in distributing Srila Prabhupada books, even if it's a single Bhagavad Gita or just 10 small books. Of course, it's 1:10 ratio. Please call up anytime Guru Maharaj virtual book table number at +91 94 34 76 04 02. Stay tuned for tomorrow morning Srimad Bhagavatam class and tomorrow evening Lord Chaitanya class. And now prayers. Let's pray for the speedy recovery and full recovery of Guru Maharaj. We also pray for Kumudini Panchabai, grandmother of Sankalpa Panchabai, a devotee in Dhule, Maharashtra, very inspired by Guru Maharaj when he was in Mumbai. So let's pray to Lord Krishna if he desires to save the departed soul. And of course, our prayers include for all those who are celebrating their anniversaries today for their well-being and blissful Krishna consciousness. Please join me in the prayers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Vaishnav Pranams. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo